What's up, warriors of Tamaris? Welcome to the video. This episode is going to show you all the different builds for the brand new Thunderdrake in Call of Dragons. We're going to check out the build for archers, for infantry, for mages, for cavalry, and all the different basics that you need to know about this brand new pet here in Call of Dragons. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let's get started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, it's a brand new day and we're gonna check out a brand new video. It's going to be about the Thunderdrake in Call of Dragons. This is a universal pet that can be built to work with pretty much every single troop type in the game. We're gonna check out all the good stuff that you need to know about this pet. First of all, we're gonna start off with the simple basics. The pet has 8 skill slots just like everybody else. The pet is under the restrictions that are currently available in the game, which means you cannot put more than 3 skills of the same type on the pet. So that is something that you need to remember. And everything is pretty much the same. The pet can be fed with some fruits. It uses special fruits that you get for free from the game, so you shouldn't worry about it. You're gonna build this pet to match your fighting style by focusing on the perfect attribute that's going to boost the strength of your troop type. So that is something that you need to know. There is one thing that I also gotta point out is that you can reset this pet pretty much every single day. You can reset with 500 gems, and I think you're going to have 3 days. So you know what? Let me do it here for you guys on the screen. It says after resetting, all learned skill cards and super fruits will be refunded, and you can select the attributes for all fantastic encounters. Resets can be performed once every 72 hours. Reset now. So I can reset and pretty much get back all the skills, and then I can't reset it for 3 days. So when you reset the pet, you are going to get back all of your pet fruits. And once you get this pet fruit, I suggest you keep them because you're going to use different builds for the pet, and you need to put those pet fruits in the proper location. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So if you reset the pet and you get back the pet fruits, just look at your build and try to put the pet fruits in the right places. The Thunderdrake works just like almost all the other pets in Call of Dragons. You cannot release this pet. You can only use it in this brand new season known as the Dragon Siege. So this is the KVK that you can use this pet. It is exclusive to this season. So this is something to keep in mind. Let us see some of the cool stuff about this pet. Like I said, you can build the pet pretty much the same way you build all of your other pets. And it's got so many skills. The skills are divided into different categories. Let us check them out. The first one is going to be the talent skill, which is similar to all the other skills in the game. It requires rage. So when you get 1000 rage, this pet is going to cast its talent skill 2 seconds after your deputy casts their rage skill. That is something that you gotta keep in mind. The pet is gonna have boosters for the talent. We have advanced, we have intense, and we have the talent skill. Those are all the boosters for this pet. You're gonna get all the skills for free. The pet can also boost your legion. It can boost infantry, it can boost archers, it can boost mages, it can boost cavalry. As you can see, the symbols of the troop type are on the different skills you can put on this pet, which means there are going to be so many different builds that you can use for this pet. This pet has skills that can boost your legions while they are fighting in the citadel. That is something also that you gotta know about the pet. We got skills here that can give you a lot of march speed when you're inside the citadel, which is pretty good. We got skills known as the superconductor, which are going to give you either more severely wounded to your enemy through pet damage, or you take less severely wounded based on the damage output of this pet. So these are the different categories of the skills. Now we're going to build this pet to match your troop type. Before we get started with the build, let us see what this pet is all about. The good thing is the talent skill is going to be 3 stars. Now it says attack range is very far, which means it's going to work with every single troop type including your mages, and it is a rage skill. It also means this pet is going to cast its rage skill 2 seconds after your deputy casts a rage skill. So that is something you gotta know. Now the damage output says Deals damage to the target legion. Damage factor 120 plus 409. As you can see, this damage output is massive. And increases legion infantry unit defense by 20%, cavalry unit attack by 20%, marksman unit normal attack damage by 20%, and magic unit hero skill damage by 20% for 3 seconds. So this is the talent of the pet. It's going to work with every single troop type that you have in the game. And then we also have booster skill for the pet for the advanced Thunder Rush. Like this one gives you Thunder Rush damage dealt plus 20% and then plus 36.4%, which is pretty sweet. We also have skills like the Electric Overload, which are also going to boost the damage output of this pet. We got multiple Electric Overloads over here. It is pretty nice. We also have lots of crit rates and crit damage bonus, which is exactly what you want if you want to do so much damage to your enemies. So this is a quick overview of the pet skill and the pet talent. It's going to be working with every single troop type, so you're going to have to build it to match the troop type that you really want to use with. Now that we're done with the simple basics of the Thunderdrake, let us check out some of the best builds that you can use with this pet. The first build that I'm going to show you right now is the Thunderdrake damage build. Now this pet is the one that is the most popular with most of the players in Call of Dragons. If you don't really want to waste your time, if you just want one build for this pet, to use it with pretty much every single troop type, we're talking cavalry, we're talking mages, and we're talking archers. You're going to build your pet to look a little something like this, like what you see here on the screen. I have called it the overall build. This build is focusing mostly on the Thunder Rush damage. Pretty much all the skills that you see here are trying to boost this damage and make it do as much damage as possible. So you got things like Advanced Thunder Rush, which is giving this Thunder Rush skill almost 54% additional damage. You got things like Electric Overload, giving you 40% plus 72.53% more damage through War Pet Synergy. You have Advanced Electric Overload also boosting this pet. By the way, these two skills are going to work together and let you do some crazy stuff to your enemies. And then when we go to the bottom over here, we got two different crit rate skills. Okay, the first one is the Storm Floor. This one is going to give you 16.7 plus 30.28% crit rate for the pet. And then you got another Storm Floor right here, giving you another 16.7 plus 28.95% crit rate. As you can see here, both of these skills use different attributes, so you got to keep that in mind. At the bottom here, we got two skills that are going to give you skill crit damage. So this is another good addition for this pet to help you do some good stuff against your enemies. So this is going to be build number 1, which is the overall build for this pet. You can use this build with pretty much every single troop type in the game. If you don't want to waste your time, just build it the way you see here on the screen, and that's pretty much it. Now you could make a few changes here and there based on your, experience with the pet on the field, but overall, this is the way to go. Now, one thing I need to add is that this pet is not good for the infantry troop type because infantry are mostly dependent on counter-strike skills, and this pet does not have counter-strike skill. So this overall skill is going to be very good for archers, for cavalry, and for mages. Up next, we check out all the different builds for all the different troop types in the game. If you don't want to waste your time, you can use the builds that I just showed you, which is overall, it's going to work for all the different troop types. Now, if you want to take things to the next level, you can try these cavalry builds that you see here on the screen. I call it support number 1. We have done a few different things over here. As you can see, we have put the 3 different skills for this pet here at the bottom. We got the Electrostorm, we got Intense Electrostorm, and we got Advanced Electrostorm. These 3 skills are going to be working well together. Both of these skills are going to give you like maybe 11% additional hero skill crit rate for all the different heroes in your lineup, which is going to be pretty nice. With the Electrostorm, you got 11.25% hero skill crit rate. The Intense Electrostorm give you another 11.25% hero skill crit rate. You combine them together, that is 22% hero skill crit rate. And then you have the advanced electrostorm, which allows you to add more legions and have even more crit rate for all of your legions in your lineup. What you need to do is, as soon as you get all of these skills, you should reset your pet, get back the pet fruits, and then put them in the agility. I think you need about 348 agility in order to have these 3 skills to work with all the 5 legions in your lineup. So that is something that you gotta keep in mind. There is something here that you also need to know. As you can see here, I have 2 skills in this red box. That is because you can make changes to these 2 skills to match your fighting style. Now, I did not know which one to put over here to get the best damage, so you're gonna have to test that out by yourself in open field combat. In this first build, we have the talent of the pet, we got electric overload, we got advanced electric overload, and then we have advanced thunder rush, which is gonna boost this thunder rush, and we also have the storm floor, which is gonna give you war pet skill crit rate, which is pretty nice. Now we move on to the next cavalry support number 2. As you can see, I got 2 skills here in the red box. Again, you can just switch them up and see which one works well for you. In this case, we got war pet skill crit damage and we have war pet skill crit rate. So these 2 are going to work together to give you some good stuff over here. And then we move on to, yep, I think that's it for the cavalry. We got 2 different support builds for the cavalry. Just select which one you think is going to be very good. When it comes to these 2 skills over here, do not underestimate this build because the cavalry skill tree also has a 10% hero skill crit rate. So with everything combined together, you can have 30% hero skill crit rate for all of your 5 cavalry marches on the field. You just need to reset the pet, get back the pet fruits, and put most of them in the agility to get 348 agility. That way you can have 5 legions with these buffs. But if you don't really want to build your pet like this, remember, you can always use the overall build for this pet, which is this one right here. This one focuses on the pet's damage. Up next, we have a look at the magic troop type in the Call of Dragons. With the magic troop type, we got 3 additional skills as well. Now, these 3 skills are going to be dependent on intelligence, which means when you capture the pet, you have enough pet fruits, you're going to reset the pet, you're going to get back your pet fruits, and you're going to put most of it in the intelligence and get 348 intelligence. That way, all 5 of your mage legions can get, I think, 9%. What do we have here? We got 4% rage accumulation speed and another 4% rage accumulation speed over here, which is pretty nice. So that is like 8 or 9% rage accumulation speed. And then when you have the Mysterium Brewpot in your decoration with another 5% rage accumulation speed, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at almost up to 15% rage accumulation speed for your mages in open field combat. With the Mysterium Brewpot, man, this is going to be slapping so many enemies on the field. Again, if you don't like this build, you can go with the overall build, which is a proven build by many players in open field combat. But you shouldn't underestimate this build as well, especially if you have the Mysterium Brewpot at a good spot. Now you can see here, I got 2 skills here in the red. These are the skills that you're going to change depending on what you think is going to be performing the best on the field. As you can see here, support number 1, I decided to put the Storm Floor, which gives you war pet skill crit rates and a Thunder Rush damage to boost this thing right here. We go to the next one, which is Mage Mysterium Brewpot support number 2. And in this box again, I changed 2 different skills. Here we got war pet skill crit damage and war pet skill crit rate. Now, like I said, I don't know which 2 pairs is going to be the most efficient one. So you're going to have to test it by yourself and see which one works best. And then we go on to the third build, which is Mage Mysterium Brewpot support number 3. Again, the skills in the red box are the one that I changed. Over here, we got war pet skill crit rate of up to, we're looking at 44% from here and another 44% crit rate, which is kind of like almost 90%, allowing you to have 90% crit rate for your skill damage. Remember, when you get a crit, I think the damage is 1.5 times, which is pretty nice. So yeah, this build for the mages is going to be pretty good if you have the Mysterium Brewpot with the 5% rage accumulation speed bonus. We're looking at 15% rage accumulation bonus over here, which is pretty nice. Just remember, you reset the pet, you get the pet fruits back, and then you use them in the intelligence and push it all the way to 348, I think. That way, you can have all 5 of your legions benefiting from this rage accumulation speed bonus. Imagine what you can do with all of your powerful crazy mages in the open field with a 15% rage accumulation speed bonus. That's gonna be something. Up next, we check out the Thunderdrake damage build for the Archer troop type. Again guys, like I said, if you don't want to waste time with this support build, you can always use this overall build that pretty much works with any troop type. However, with the archers, you can also get some good stuff. Now we're going to introduce the 3 different booster skills for the archers. They are here at the bottom. Again, we got this one here that uses luck, which means when you capture the pet and you get a lot of pet fruits, you're going to reset it. You get back the pet fruits and you dump most of them in the luck attributes for the archer troop type, all the way up to 348 luck attributes. That way you get enough buff for all the 5 different archers in your lineup. So what is this Thunder Arrow gonna do for your archer? Let's see what it says. When part of a PvP marksman legion, the legion and nearby friendly PvP marksman legions, 2 legions total, gain Thunder Arrow, dealing up to 4% more damage the further they are away from their target. This is pretty nice. We also have another intense Thunder Arrow here, giving you another 4% damage buff. So we're looking at 9% damage boost. And when you take the attributes to 348, probably maybe 11% additional damage dealt, which is very nice for archers. You know, archers always go in and out, in and out. So you're going to be getting 10% damage for everything that you do on the field. So as you guys can see, this build could be what you use for your archers, because the damage build requires you to use your rage skill. Archers don't always get the time to cast their rage skill on the field because they need to be mobile all of the time. So I think this could be a very, very good build for archers in Call of Dragons. Now, as you can see here, I got 2 skills in the red box, which means these are the 2 skills that you can change. You can play around with all the different crit skills and the crit damage boost and the pet talent boost that we have in the game. You can swap these 2 skills and just see how they work. So this is Archer support build number 1. Over here we got Thunder Rush damage dealt, and we got Warped skill crit rate. When we check out the next one, we got Warped skill crit damage, and we got a Warped skill crit rate. This is Archer support number 2. As you can see, we are just changing the skills in the middle over here. And then Archer support number 3 is when you got Warped skill crit rate and Warped skill crit rate. I do not know which one is going to be doing the most damage. So you're going to have to test and see which one is going to be more efficient for your archer fighting troop type. So these, ladies and gentlemen, are the build for the different Thunderdrake in Call of Dragons for all the different troop types in the game. Now this pet is not very good for the infantry troop type. I wouldn't recommend using this pet on infantry, because infantry is dependent on what we call counter-strike. This pet does not have counter-strike. So I don't know, man. I don't think I would recommend this pet for any infantry build whatsoever in the game. We got lots of other skills in the game that we haven't really looked at, but I wouldn't really bother with them. A lot of them are going to give you some kind of defense. We got Steadfast right here, which lets you, what does it say? Legion takes 20 plus 36.27 less Warped skill damage within citadels and on citadel walls. I mean, there are some good stuff over here if you really want to check them out for yourself, but I don't think these pet skills are going to be very good. With Warpeds, you try to boost the damage of the pet, you try to put as many crit rates as possible, you try to put as many crit damage boost as possible, which is what you really want for your Warped. Unfortunately, there is no counter-strike and advanced counter-strike over here, so this pet is not recommended for infantry. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are all the different builds that I have For the Thunderdrake here in Call of Dragons, remember you can reset this pet every 3 days. So if you want to change something, you can do it. You can also change some of the skills at any given time. For example, I can put this, I can try and learn it over here. I can replace this one. Boom, that skill is gone. It's going to be here. Now, when the season is over, you won't be having this pet with you. It's going to be going away. I can also learn this skill back again at the same spot. Just put it there and it goes back. Remember, you can switch your skills back and forth. Do not be afraid to apply the skills. Do not be afraid to test them out, to check out different skills and see how they work. As you can see, we got many attributes here. Each one is going to be very important for all the different troop type. Just remember, you can reset the pet and just feed the pet and put the pet attributes in the proper place. For example, if I want to add some agility, I can give it 1 agility over here and boom, we got more agility. So that is how you increase the attribute of the pet. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. If you got any tips and tricks, feel free to comment down below. Comment which build you decided to use. Comment how you build this pet. Comment down below if there is something that I missed. Enjoy the show. Until then, see you guys in the next one.